Portugal happens to be one of the hottest tourist spots in the world right now, and it's also personally been on my list of places to visit for a few years now. Fortunately, earlier this summer, I got to make a visit to the capital city of Lisbon with my mom and amazing travel partner, and the trip was more than I could have ever expected. Here are some of the biggest highlights from the trip. We started this day by taking a tuk-tuk tour around the city. I know it's the most touristy thing you can do in Lisbon, but it was a lot of fun and an easy way to see so much of the city. It was also very cool to see all the street art. Our driver took us up to the highest point in Lisbon to see the entire city. As usual, photos and videos don't do it justice, but it was a gorgeous sight and a perfect spot for photos. Our guide also showed a secret not-so-secret bar near the viewpoint. You take this little door and it leads you to the bar that overlooks the whole city. Afterwards, we stopped by the shop for some refreshments.
We have here a wall of fame. Okay, you're gonna ask you a picture to put here in the wall of fame.
Okay.
And you need to write something to put here.
Okay.
Choose the paper that you want. Okay. Write something. You can put whatever you want. Ginger, it's a fruit that it's really similar from the cherry. Okay. It's good, it's sweet, but after the 5th class, you're gonna feel drunk. Okay. It's made with one of the strongest drinks that we have in Lisbon. It's called aguardente, and trust me, it's if you have just aguardente, after that you're gonna feel oh my god, it's so hot. I know you put everything in your mouth because this is a chocolate cup, so you can eat. Okay, yeah. And gonna do a good taste if you mix the chocolate with the ginger. Okay. Be careful because you have a fruit inside.
Okay. The drink was indeed very strong, but it did help that we had these chocolate cups to eat after. The last stop of our tuk-tuk tour was Pasteleria Santo Antonio, which won the highly competitive national tasting of Pastel de Nata in 2019. I highly recommend making a stop here to try these delicious treats. After the tour, we made a quick stop for lunch at Obessa, this amazing seafood restaurant right behind our hotel, and then we were off for our next tour in Sintra. I was not prepared for how foresty and green it was here. Our tour guide explained that Sintra has its own microclimate, which means the weather is often different from neighboring cities, and it can change pretty quickly. We actually weren't sure if we'd be able to go on this tour because of the rain, but fortunately it was just a cloudy day. It was such a beautiful experience though, to ride through the back roads of Sintra in an open roof Jeep and take in these gorgeous sights. We even got to see Peña Palace from afar. Our next stop was the sanctuary of Peninha. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. To get there, you walk up this hill until you get to a viewpoint where you can see the entire coastline of Cascais, which is a nearby beach town. We also met the sweetest dog up there who was running free with his owner and befriending everyone in our group. We continued upwards to the highest point of the sanctuary to another incredible viewpoint, where you can see a huge chunk of Sintra National Park, as well as the mountains leading to the westernmost point of Europe. I wish I could have spent more time just taking this view in, but it was also ridiculously windy up here. After leaving the sanctuary, we headed to the finale of our tour, Praia de Ursa. I will say the first part of the hike was gorgeous and super easy. You can just stroll along these beautiful fields of grass and flowers before the real hike starts. You also get to a few cliff edges where you can get some beautiful shots of the ocean, including Praia de Ursa itself. But to get all the way down there is about a 25-minute hike, and it is quite steep. I didn't get any video going down, but this is pretty much how the trail was most of the way, so expect lots of climbing. But it's definitely worth it once you're standing in the middle of this beautiful beach. I've been to a lot of beaches, but never one this breathtaking. I felt like I was in a vacation resort commercial. While we explored and swam, our guide set up a picnic with chorizo, cheeses, fruit, and port wine, and it was all very tasty. Our group spent the next hour and a half eating, talking, and just enjoying being on this magical beach. I would have loved to watch the sunset here, but since none of us wanted to climb up these rocks in low light, we decided to head back. I will say though, going up was much easier than coming down. As the tour ended, we drove to the drop-off point, but can I just say the feeling of riding in the back of the Jeep on these beautiful roads with music blaring, it was one of those moments where everything just feels right in the world and it's a moment you want to just last forever. We drove into Cascais to be dropped off. Cascais is a beach town about a 30-minute drive or 45-minute train ride from Lisbon, and it's a really popular tourist destination. But since we were dropped off toward the end of the day, it wasn't too busy. In fact, it was very chill and easy to walk through, especially compared to Lisbon. I had the best time on this tour. It's only 5 hours long, and if you get the chance, you should definitely do it. Our third day in Lisbon was rather chill. We needed a chill day after how physical the day before was at Praia de Ursa, so we woke up late and left our hotel around 1 p.m. for a food tour. Our guide here was explaining the first place we're going to, which serves a popular pork sandwich and some other fried foods. It's called Cervejaria O Trevo. The place was so busy we had to wait outside for a bit, but at least we had beer to hold us off. We were able to sit down eventually and try the food, and it was truly worth the wait. We had these savory tarts first and then tried the pork sandwich, which actually ended up being one of my favorite dishes on this tour. After that, we headed to the next location, and even though this was a food tour, the most memorable part for me was just walking through this breathtaking city and admiring all the sights with the people in our group. One of my favorite spots was a street that made a long descent next to the tram. You can see a bunch of buildings below and even the ocean further out. It was probably a good 2-minute walk, but very picturesque. The next stop was yet another ginja shop. If you remember from the day before, ginja is a strong cherry liquor served in a small chocolate cup. And you're supposed to eat the cup after. Even though it's not my favorite treat, it did feel more special doing a toast with more people. We also made a short stroll through Pink Street, which was very packed in the afternoon as expected, but this was a special moment for me because I had put this street on my vision board like 2 years ago, so it felt like an accomplishment to actually be standing there. We ended the tour at this beautiful viewpoint which really screamed European vacation. Like, I never frame pictures, but the pictures we took here are too frameable not to. After the tour, we headed to a popular rooftop bar because one thing about me, I can't visit a city and not try out a rooftop bar. This place is called Java, and it's already pretty famous on TikTok. I was still expecting to find seating, but I was wrong. It was packed, so we opted for a counter near the entrance and got some guacamole. This guacamole was also delicious, by the way. Apparently they make it with broccoli, so it kind of tastes vegetable-y, but very tasty. Our last stop for the day was for some real dinner at Brasileria. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but you get my drift. Here they had a breakdancing group putting on a show for all the diners and anybody walking nearby. For dinner, I got a good old cheeseburger with some fries, which was very tasty, and my mom got this unique fish dish with rice that she said was also pretty good. We actually stayed here until almost midnight just to watch this amazing musician perform a bunch of popular songs for us. However, a ton of people were also in a dancing mood, and chief among them was this dude. He was truly the star of the show that night and absolutely hilarious to watch. Despite all the walking we did around the city, this day was pretty chill. It was filled with good food, good company, and great entertainment.
Thank you.
Now, this was probably my favorite day out of all the time we spent here in Lisbon. And we actually didn't spend this day in Lisbon. We went to a few different places with our guide for the day, João. The mission was to take us to Arabida, a national park about a 40-minute drive from Lisbon. But first we made a stop for some quick breakfast in Setúbal, a town very close to Arabida that is much less touristy than Lisbon. In fact, I'm pretty sure we were the only tourists on the street at the time. João tried to teach us what to order in Portuguese, but because we were screwing it up, he was nice enough to just order for us while we waited outside. Our breakfast consisted of these sweet but delicious yellow sticky pastries filled with jelly, and they definitely gave us a boost for the adventure that awaited us. Shortly after, we were on the road again and headed for Arabida, where you basically have this pristine green forest right up against the ocean. It was a gorgeous sight to see. When we got to our first official stop of the day inside the national park, João showed us some beautiful smelling plants.
Feel it and even touch or bring it to you, do this. Boom. Look, this smell.
Oh.
You know this? It's an herb that you make a tea.
I know I've smelt it before, but
It's
what is
in
it?
Portuguese we say funcho. Funcho.
Yeah.
Fennel.
Oh, it smells so good.
Fennel. This is an herb you can make tea. You make tea. okay? It's all over the forest. Look, fennel. Okay, this one, it's all over also, okay? You know this one? Check it out.
Oh, is that rosemary?
Yeah.
Oh, that smells
Rosemary.
good.
Look.
Yeah.
We should plant this in
Boom.
the house.
This is amazing. It's
Yeah.
all over the forest also, okay?
It smells so good.
This is amazing also.
Wow.
It's also one that grows wild all over. Right? Smells amazing. Wow.
We then started a short hike through the forest. The stairs were a bit steep, but way better than what we experienced at Praia de Orsa, and the steps evened out as we got to the bottom. One thing our guide explained was how different the weather in Arabida was from Lisbon. He said that often when it's raining in Lisbon, he'll find it nice and sunny here in Arabida, which makes it a good getaway. The views here were so beautiful. As Zhao said, it looked like paradise. We continued to make our way down through the forest until we arrived at the epitome of a paradise beach. I'm usually not a big swimmer on vacation, but I had decided I would on this trip and I didn't regret it at all. The water was extremely cold though, but you get used to it after a few minutes and it starts to feel refreshing. But honestly, being here felt exactly what I imagined a summer vacation in Europe should feel like, and I'm so glad we were able to do this. After the beach, we made a quick drive over to another scenic spot.
So here we are at the Rampa de Parapente. In Portuguese, it's paragliding ramp. So it's what you have here. It's a paragliding ramp. Okay, amazing. Because it's where you go and you actually land in that amazing beach that you have down there. This is the Portinho da Rábida. The one that I was telling you girls to feel and to tag it. It's where everybody goes. Exactly.
After that, Joao took us to a local fish market in Setúbal. Here we saw almost every fish you can think of. I'm talking about seafood I've never seen in my entire life. The swordfish looked pretty cool though. But as I looked at everything, I was torn between being overwhelmed and also wanting to try everything. I'm pretty sure there were a few other tourists there, but it was overwhelmingly filled with locals, and even though we definitely stood out, it was nice to just enjoy the market with them and feel like we belonged there for a little bit. We also met these cute little dogs.
Oh my goodness. Can I take a picture? So cute. Yeah, just look at Oh, you guys are so adorable. You're so adorable. Yeah, it doesn't hurt them. I saw my dog.
I like you too. Oh, hi. Can I pet you?
We then took a trip to a hidden restaurant gem, also in Setúbal. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the name because I don't remember it, and I don't think I even saw it on the outside of the building. But it's a family-run restaurant and the owners are personal friends of Joao. By this point, we were starving, so we would have welcomed any food, but we were not prepared for what Joao and the restaurant had in store. We started with this green wine, and I didn't even know green wine was a thing, but apparently the grapes get less sun exposure and aren't totally ripe. The result is a very light, fresh-tasting wine, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that this was the best wine I've ever had in my life.
In Portuguese, a nossa. To us.
As for the food, we started out with this delicious pumpkin soup, the most delicious savory soup I've ever had. I'm just gonna say it now, this is one of the most memorable tasty meals in my entire life, so get used to me saying everything was delicious.
This is the cuttlefish, you remember? When you ask, oh, what's that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the cuttlefish, okay? So, you honestly pick up. I like, as you know, spicy. I go deep in on the sauce and rock and roll.
Oh my god.
Swordfish,
Oh, that's a swordfish? Okay.
sardines, the amazing tomato, rice, beans.
amazing.
Wow. These potatoes, my God, they come from heaven. You're gonna cry, you get emotional. It's good. They have seasoning simple, oregano, olive oil.
The beans and rice dish was my favorite. I got seconds, thirds, fourth, all of that. My mom also couldn't get enough of the food. We also tried sardines on bread for the first time, which was a fun and yummy combination. We ended the meal with this mouth-watering pastry. Joao explained that they are actually made with almonds, and I'm not a big almond fan, but again, no complaints. I would honestly do this tour a second time, just to enjoy this meal again. After leaving the restaurant, we made a visit to these graffiti cannons. Apparently they were part of something called the Baron Plan, which was a plan for military infrastructure developed after World War II to defend the coast of Lisbon and a major port of Setúbal. And I got the opportunity to push one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my
Come
goodness.
here, send me here. Come on, go for
I
it.
should push it with you?
Yeah, come here.
Okay.
You go. I will use the. I will
Okay.
film it. I will film it.
Okay.
Come on, you go. Come on,
Oh, wow.
you go.
That's lighter
It's
than I thought.
it's the way to burn also the lunch. Come on, the exercise.
Does it go all the way around?
All the way around. You can go. Yeah, let's go. Watch out there, the little jump. You need to do a little jump, okay?
You can?
Wait. Let it go. And then, now you jump. You go. Beautiful. That's the way. Super.
We then took a quick detour to learn about something very important to Portugal, cork.
What you have here, it's all cork trees.
Oh, okay.
And actually you can see that the color, it's very different from the top to the bottom. You have different layers. One layer, another layer, another layer, and another layer. But then you have a number. And this is the number that you need to follow. It's the connection to the year.
Oh,
It was
okay.
in 2021 when it was shaved. And then it's growing back. It's growing back because it grows. So it's a sustainable industry.
Okay.
We wait 7 to 9 years
Wow.
and it grows back again. This is a piece that fall, look.
Oh,
It's cork.
okay.
This is already cork.
Yeah.
Very light. But then it's growing. Huh? It's
Yeah,
already growing.
growing.
Yeah. It's growing.
How
Yeah.
thick does it get?
Oh, this thick or this thick.
That's how when they
Depends.
harvest it.
They harvest, this is the normal one. This is the one.
That's how thick it gets.
7 to 9.
Okay.
More years you give, more it will be.
Okay.
I never even had an idea how a
comes from the
cork
tree.
bottle was. Thing was made.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was chopped wood, and then crumbled and
Exactly.
stuck together. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it came from a tree.
Yeah.
And as you know, if you do this to a tree, you kill the tree. If you take the skin of the tree round, you actually are killing the tree. Cork, no.
No.
It's like a new peeling.
Yeah.
Back again, younger.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, very
cool.
sustainable.
Very sustainable. okay?
sustainable.
It's a very sweet way to see that, exactly. Okay. Super.
And for our last stop of the day, we went to a winery. This one was even named after California, where we're from. And as I always say, the camera doesn't do it justice. This was such a pristine view, being able to look out toward the entire city below. We visited quite a few wineries in our lives, but this was the first one that also had a mini farm on site.
And you go. Yeah. Because this one doesn't allow. Here, come here, go now. Go there. Yeah, no.
You're too far. Yeah, you're gonna have to get it.
Come a little
No.
closer.
Sneaky. Wait, I will do it again, okay?
Same time.
1,
2,
2, 3.
3. Yeah, quick.
They eat everything.
Gee.
They clean the soil. They
Yeah,
literally
he
clean
looks
the
well
soil.
fed.
Yeah.
Look, cow, they're eating well. Of
Wow.
course, I'm here feeding them all the time, so
So they know you pretty well.
they know it already. They feel.
Hi,
It's the most traditional way. It's that.
Hi.
Always.
You know, if you like goats, we just moved to my mom's house, so you can have your own.
Yeah, but
pet
it
goats.
should have an
Look,
arrangement
one
like
is
this.
here. Now, look,
They
Get
used
more
to.
animals,
They used to
yeah.
in the back.
this one. Look, meanwhile,
Oh, so now this one can eat.
exactly.
Oh, the big one is coming.
Coming.
The bull is coming. Wow.
And they know. Plus,
Right away.
And now for the wine tasting. We tried 6 different wines, and even though Zhao couldn't drink as our driver, he still toasted with us. He also explained some of the winemaking process.
Imagine, here you have the white grapes, the red it's on the other side. So this is from the red. From the process of making this rosé, how is it made? When they cut the grapes, they will take it there. It's like a tank. And then you see that thing going up and down, the opening? There's a machine that I will show you that separates the grapes, from the juice, from the wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where they grow. It's always on the wood.
Yeah.
Okay? Look, it was cut at the end. You can actually see. Look. And, but they grow fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
They grow fast.
They look fresh.
They grow. No, they're not fresh.
Yeah.
So there's
They look like they're gonna have a good harvest.
they
Beautiful. Look how big they are.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
My favorite wine ended up being our last one, with an alcohol content of 17%.
Check it out.
It was 17.
Yes, feel it. Feel it. Feel the power.
How
It
is-
tastes like what do you call it?
Peach, fruity.
Yeah,
Ooh.
like a Kahlua thing, like
Oh, okay.
after dinner drinks almost.
This is to make the wine. You know the process of separating, having that part that we don't use to make the wine called musto. We're gonna use that to distill. Distillation process. We're gonna make a drink that goes to 90% of alcohol initially, and you reduce it to the legal 40%. You're gonna
Okay.
use that drink for what? When you're making the wine, you interrupt the process of making the wine, not allowing the wine to stage. You're gonna add the strong drink.
Before we took off, we were also fortunate enough to meet one of the owners who was so kind.
Right here, wow. Amazing. Bomba, amazing. Wow. Wow, another one, another toast, another toast, another toast. Wow. Beautiful.
Even though today was jam-packed with events, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I've never been on a tour like this where we got to experience so much of a country's culture in so little time, and it was all thanks to our incredible guide, João. I know that Arrábida and Setúbal are only 2 regions of Portugal, but visiting them makes me feel even more excited to see the rest of Portugal someday. In order to have the ultimate chill day after such an adventurous time with João, we decided to visit a beach club. This beach club is called Irmão, and it's located in Costa da Caparica, a 45-minute drive from Lisbon. I loved this long walk to the entrance. Even though I've never been there before, it kind of reminded me of a secret beach in the Hamptons. Once you arrive, you get in line for a chair or a beach bed, or you can reserve one online like we did. We reserved the Bali bed, which was super comfortable. You can also order all the food and drinks you want, so we got this pistachio pizza, and like every other food in Portugal, it was the best pizza I've ever had. We also ordered some guac and chips. This one is like the one that we got at the Java rooftop bar. It was a broccoli and guacamole mix, and it was very tasty. All the drinks we ordered were great, but just a little watered down, as expected. I don't think we got buzzed, but sitting on a beach on a warm day with some cold drinks is more than enough. After lounging around for a few hours, I decided to go to the water. The sand was super hot, so I had to hustle a bit to avoid getting burned. The water was so refreshing though, that even though I hadn't planned to, I decided to go for a swim. I didn't have a protective pouch for my phone to record it, but it was so nice just letting myself get swayed by the waves. I was also surprised to see the beach so busy for a Wednesday, but it was almost July, so I'm pretty sure plenty of people were on vacation. It'd be awesome to come back here at night because I've heard they put on some fun disco parties, but unfortunately we had to pack up and leave. To be fair, we did spend 7 hours here, but it went by so fast it felt like only 2 hours. This was a great end to our Portugal adventures. Every single tour and trip we went on had a profound effect on us, and now Portugal has a special place in our hearts. We really never thought we could fall in love with a new country in just a few days, but I guess that's what travel is all about.